Hi everyone, this is Sandhya. Today I'm going to share with you this beautiful crochet top that I made out of my husband's t-shirt. He had a pack of 6 white t-shirts which he was hardly using. So I took one of his t-shirts and I got it to my shape, and I crocheted a lot of areas. Like I chopped off the sleeve and I crocheted here. I crocheted the neck. I also crocheted the ends. So today I'm going to show you how to shape a man's t-shirt and make your own top. I've got my design ready, so this is what I want to do. I want to cut this piece off. This is the end piece. I want to cut this piece off and crochet this portion. This is the front design. I want to have 2 darts so that it shapes to the waist area. I don't want any cloth sleeves, so I'm going to chop this cloth off. So I'll crochet here, and I want the neck to have 2 rows of crochet, whatever design I'm going to pick. For the back side, I want to give it this shape, cutting, and then I'll do crochet in this whole area. Again, I'll have 2 darts. In the neck, I'll have a slit here, which will be an open one, and then crochets here. I'll start the cutting now. I am starting off with the sleeves. I will not cut like this, because if I do that, so I don't know what is happening at the back side. So I am only going to cut a little bit here, and then I'm going to separate the sleeve. I'll do the same thing to the other sleeve. So this is what it looks like with the sleeves chopped off. Now I'm going to cut the neck. For that, I'm marking a center point. From there, I'm measuring around 4.5 inches on either side and putting a dot. So this dot, if I extend to the shoulder, this is where I'm going to have my first cut for the shoulder. Now I need to see the depth. I want my neck to be around 7 inches deep. So from this spot where I'm going to have the cut, I'm measuring 7 inches and I'm having a dot here. Now I'm going to join this dot approximately to this. I'm doing all this on the back side so that these pen marks we cannot see after the cutting. So this doesn't look straight, so I'm just, whatever adjustments need to be made, I'm making them. Now, keeping in mind that I will do 2 more rows of crochets this way and this way, I'm making the cuttings, making the markings. So I think I'm ready to do the cutting here. This is the neck pattern only for the front side. So I'm not cutting it like this. I will only cut the front side. So I'm going to cut from here and I'm not going all the way till this dot. I'm not going all the way till this dot. I'm going to leave some seam so that when I need to hem it a little bit. So that's the front neck. For the back neck, I need to start at the same spot where I had a cut. So I'm marking that first. And then I want approximately, I will go until the same spot where I had a cut in the front side. So I'm putting a spot here. Now I'm going to have a round neck. Once I'm happy with the shape of this neck, I'm going to go ahead and cut it. I'll make sure that I'm not cutting anything from the back side, from the front side actually. And that's the shape of the back neck. Now coming to the hips, I have two shapes. The front shape is straight, whereas the back shape is a curved one. So here again I have to do two types of cutting. I have to do differently for the front side and for the back side. Now this is the back side. So I would start again looking at a center spot. So at this position it is 20 inches. So I'll put a dot at 10 inches. And this is 4.5 inches. Now I want it to be curvy, so maybe I'll put a spot here at 3 inches. This is 3 inches, this is 4.5 inches. So again this needs to be 3 inches. Now I have to join these. Cutting, I need to, this is a t-shirt, so there is no hemming here. This is a seamless t-shirt, so I need to separate the ends first. So I'm only going to separate this portion here, and then I'm going to do the cutting. We are done with the back. Now for the front, I just need to have a straight line. You can do a marking again every 3 inch. For every 3 inch you can put a dot so that you get a straight line. After all of that was done, I also tried to even out the shape of the neck. Like if you see here, the back of the neck is not even, so I'm going to fold it. I folded the t-shirt first into half, and then I'm cutting it. Whatever extra pieces are there, I'm cutting it off. Now I did the same thing in the ends too. I'm using a very thin needle, sewing needle, and a very thin thread to hem this. I'm starting with the sleeves. I'm going to do a very small fold once, and then again I will fold it the second time, and then I'll press this area so that it forms a crease. Now I'm going to insert my needle into the base cloth and then into this folded cloth. And pull it. Again, I'll go into the base cloth and into the folded cloth. So this hemming is done for this armpit, and this is how it looks. Now I'm going to cut this thread off, and I'm going to repeat the same thing. I'm going to hem all the ends. I started off with some loops. What I did was, from the back side, I used a normal needle which is used for sewing, and I sewed these loops onto the neck, here as well as here. For creating the loops in the cloth, I'm using this kind of a needle. This is not a tapestry needle. This needle is pretty sharp and it has a big hole in the end so that you can put your wool. So I have put the same thread that I'm using to crochet, and I am making a knot in the end, only one end. The other end is loose. I haven't recorded on doing these loops on the main garment, so I'm going to show you in some other garment. So what I did is, at the back side, this is the front side, at the back side I'm going to just go inside this like this, pull it, hold this thread here, go again, pull it, and let this thread come here. This is what is making the loops. Let me show you again. So this way, when you do it, from the front side you can't see any of the thread work that is going on here at the back side. So, and you can just see these loops, and you can use this for making the crochet. This is where I am when it comes to my shirt. This is the back side, and I did a kind of a gap here, and I filled the back neck using Irish crochet fill. So far this is the progress of my top. I have made the neck. I didn't like the neck that I made earlier, so I removed it, I unraveled it, and I made another similar lace which I used at the back. Now I'm working on the sleeves. Because this is a man's t-shirt, the armhole was very, very deep for me. So I am covering up the armhole with some crochet. These are just double crochets, and then I will start lace work over here. I completed this sleeve, the neck. I added another row here, and I completed this sleeve too. Now I have started working at the bottom, at the hips area, and I've done around 2 rows. For working on this area, again, using a needle, I created loops, and then I did my chains here. I'm just doing the front side. Once I am done with the front side, I'll do the back side. I'm done with all the crochet work that is needed for this top. At the back, at the ends, the sleeves and the neck, everything is done, and I have also given some endings. So that's done. All I need to do now is to shape this top a little bit. So for that, I need to shape it near the waist, because this is totally man shape. It just goes like a straight rectangular shape. So I need to reduce the waist a little bit. When I have taken the measurements from the shoulder, I measured around 14 inches. This is where my waist starts. So I'll just put a dot here at 14 inches. So at the level of 14 inches from shoulder, I need to have 17.5 inches. The waist of this top right now measures 19.5 inches, but I need to have 17.5 inches. So that means I need to reduce 2 inches from both the sides, from front and back. To reduce 2 inches, I am going to make darts, and at this point, which is the 14 inches point, I need to make a 1 inch dart here and 1 inch dart here at the waist. So I'll fold this a little bit and I'll measure 1 inch and I'll put a dot. Same thing I'll do here. I'll measure 14 inches. I'll put a dot at 14 inches, and at 14 inches I'll measure 1 inch and put a dot. Now at 14 inches I'll reduce 1 inch, whereas while I go down and go up, my top will be very less reduced. So here it will be like normal. So maybe I'm not able to explain it properly, but this is how it will look. I'm making a very approximate dart. So I'm going to stitch or sew in this line. Now not only here, I also need to reduce the shoulder. The shoulder right now kind of drools down, kind of slips. So I'm going to do a dart here. I'm going to fold this like this and do a dart here. And I'm also going to do a dart here, which is the neck. At this square neck, I'm going to do a dart here so that the neck sits tightly and properly. And maybe if required, I will do a dart here, which is the armhole. I finished stitching one dart, the first one. This is how it came. And to be more appropriate, I folded the second one and I put it just next to the first one, and I drew exactly the way, and I made approximately the same dart for the second one. I finished the darts in the front side as well. These are the darts at the shoulders, which run from the front side to the back side, and also I made around 1.5 inch dart near the neck. I'm all done with shaping this. All that is left is wearing and posing.